Hello everybody, welcome back to Movie Reviews. And in this episode I am looking at a totally interesting, different movie. Again, I think this will be like some other ones, like a hidden gem that people think like, actually that'd be a great film. And this time I'm looking at a film called Body Shots from 1999. Body Shots. Oh, right. Alright, okay, Body Shots. It's got some other names as well, but I can't remember the other names, so Body Shots will do. Body Shots, what is this movie about? I mean, Body Shots is to do with Los Angeles nightclubbing or nightlife, which like Los Angeles party nightlife. It's mainly to do with eight people, like four couples, and they basically try and get together and just have the time of life and get together, form a relationship, which is self-help. It's sort of a love story as well. However, it's got darker elements as well as the film progresses. Obviously, that's mainly the film, but also incorporates other stuff as well. I mean, flashbacks and sort of police investigations, like a murder mystery as well, which is no murder, though it sort of plays like a murder mystery as well at some point. So anyway, the cast. Let's go in the cast. So, first of all, we have Jerry O'Connell. Yes, Jerry O'Connell's back again. He was in Stand By Me. He was in other films as well. Piranha 3D was another one he was in. He's been a few others. Sean Patrick Flanery. He was in the TV show The Young Indiana Jones Adventures, was it? Or The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. He played the young, of course. He was that character. We have Ron Livingston and some other guy. I can't remember his name. The characters are called Rick. Can't remember the names. And then for the females we've got Tara Reid, of course, who obviously was finding some success now. Actually, I mean, she appeared in Big Lebowski in the previous year, and obviously she starred in American Pie this year as well, in the same year, which is interesting. I think American Pie was more successful than this. We have also got Amanda Peet. Yeah, Amanda Peet. She's in this as well, and some other ones. I can't remember the names of the actresses as well. I can't remember the names of the characters as well. It's been a long time. It's been a while since I've seen this movie. First and foremost, I saw this movie while I was hungover. So basically, that was interesting. I watched this about 11:15 in the morning. I was drunk. I was a bit drowsy, and hair was spinning. I decided to watch this movie because I thought it was interesting. I mean, it's on the Entertainment and Video DVD label, which I was fascinated to buy some more titles for. This was one of them. I mean, it was a film. The cover of the movie I've always seen in booklets. I mean, because we had a few DVDs there, here, and everywhere, from Dungeons and Dragons to The Crow to I don't know. Depends about it really. And that was always on there, and I thought that'd be an interesting film to watch at some point if I can get a copy. Which never happened until about last year that I got the copy. I found a cheap copy for about $2.99. I watched it. I thought this is actually a really good film. So, like I mentioned at the beginning, it's basically a romantic film, however with dark elements. One of the dark elements, obviously, is date rape. Yes, a movie about date rape. And obviously it plays like a murder mystery as well, like I mentioned before. In doing so, as the film progresses, I mean, we get introduced to the characters. We've got Trent. Trent was one of them, and some Rick was another. Sarah, I can't remember the movie now. So the characters themselves, O'Connell, Livingston, Flannery, they get together with these girls who want to go on nightclubbing. They have a strong connection with each other. I mean, they know each other for a lot of years. There's always that fascination, and they do flash back to a few of them, for a few previous dates that they went on, obviously, and basically for a good idea to get together, 8 of them together, go out nightclubbing, and then get a girl and do it for the first time. That's the premise of the movie. However, as the film progresses, as the nightclub sequences progress, when they're in the nightclub, things go a little bit shady as well. I mean, they do separate and go with a different girl. As always, as they originally intended to do. Connell's character goes with Reed, Flannery goes with some other girl, and and other stuff really. Yeah, obviously, and stuff ensues. I mean, obviously, like some of them do spend time together. Like how either have the one off in the back alley, or go out to a place and stay over for the night, or weird curious events like being stuck in a gutter and being taken by an ambulance, only just to to have a lift home because they're going up north or something, and it would be a best idea, and yeah, that's how the movie plays out. However, once we get past that, we get into the sort of the mystery thing going on, the sort of investigation in which the two implied stories include Connell's character and Reed's character. Obviously, he goes to flashbacks and he plays on the idea, obviously, like two sides of the story in which Reed's character gets beat up and she's sort of like kind of get very tense and nervous and she's just distraught, beaten. She's all like battered to death, very much, and obviously she claims that Connell's character did actually just like attack her and rape her and stuff like that, and it's sort of that's been and that carries on all the way through the movie now. That sort of carries on, that does, and the relationship with her friends and the guys who were friends with O'Connor's character are sort of tested to limits how to keep hold on, and obviously if they could trust each other again or be together, and that sort of causes ripples. That causes, like. It sort of happens as well, like like a serious event. We're a best friend, and who's in a relationship now. That causes ripples. That does. I mean, like everything, and this all plays on as well. Not always plays on it, and yeah, I think that's about it really. Yeah, and obviously it sort of cuts in between, obviously with flashbacks, of course, with the series now between Reed and O'Connell, and different twists. Like it plays on like different sides of the story. Like they don't know what happened with like. I think in Connell's side of the story they do get together, and obviously how she gets battered, like sort of beaten or gets bruised and stuff like that. She bangs her head on the headboard of a bed, and obviously in her side of the story she gets sort of like. Gets forcibly, like Colin's doing it from behind, and obviously she gets bashed around, and he's getting more tougher and like he's drunk and stuff like that, and obviously she mentioned like she was suffering from blackouts and stuff. Obviously when they were going to a house from the nightclub, and it sort of plays with intrigue as well, like, and you sort of don't understand whose side, what story happens, because you're very unsure what goes on, and yeah, you don't know if it's O'Connell's character who is telling the truth, or is it Reed's character who's telling the truth. It sort of doesn't it doesn't really explain it as very much. It doesn't really with that much depth. However, in doing so, Connell's character, I think, gets imprisoned in the end of the movie. Obviously, one of his friends, the guy called Rick, is a lawyer and actually tries to help him very much. There's some funny stuff as well, which happens before. I mean, stuff for O'Connell as well. I mean, O'Connell is actually, though his character is a bit sort of too egotistical, I think. Egotistical. I think that's how I'm pronouncing it right. I mean, it's like he's got this big boyish ego that takes over. Like he's always after women. He is a jock, by the way. I mean, and obviously, well, let's rephrase that. Because you've got a jock, you've got a lawyer, you've got some office worker as well. You've got a few people as well. I can't remember the name, and so on and so forth. Obviously, like I mentioned before, we've been a joke. They do break the fourth wall. They do. Actually, they sort of introduce themselves. They introduce the first time what they are, what they do, and I thought that was interesting because, and it's sort of again the start of the movie. I thought that was interesting. It's like other films like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and stuff like that. Well, not really all the time. It's just that one moment, and I think that is quite good. It sets up the characters nicely and sort of shows them who they are very much. And I thought quite good. I mean, and there is some good stand-up moments as well. Like I mentioned with General O'Connell, the stuff with the scene with the or was it the Chinese burger barn or something that he slowly takes over. That's quite hilarious when the police find him. He's drunk and happy-go-lucky, like he's off his head, smiling and laughing, and he's busy frying up burgers and wearing the uniform as well. Like, I only come here for a job. I only wanted a burger. I'm hungry, or something like that. And obviously, one of the best characters I think in the movie is Ron Livingston's character Trent, who is absolutely hilarious. I mean, that performance itself is really comedy gold, really good. I mean, he's basically the socially sort of awkward guy who basically tags on the guys. He wears funny clothes. He wears like golf shoes. He wears a cricket jumper. I mean, he's a bit of an oddball, but he's hilarious. He is. I mean, like I mentioned before, he was the guy in the gutter, and he basically, the ambulance take him home. You know, or I ran an ambulance. Why did you pass out or something? No, I just wanted a lift. I wanted to go. They were head up north, so I thought, why tag along with them? Really good and funny. The female cast themselves, it is sort of a mix. I mean, it takes it serious. I mean, and obviously, I think for people who might only want to see like Tara Reid and breasts and stuff. I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's raunchy. It's a raunchy film, but it is, well, it has better nudity. It's got a lot of sex, but some of the sex is not like fully nude. It's sort of clothed as well. So it sort of depends on there, and it basically follows a lot of story, and also because of its subject matters as well in this movie. And that's one of the main reasons why. Yeah, so, yeah. And obviously Mark Isham does the score as well. Sort of like in similar stuff to Blade, more like the sort of 80s, sort of like electronica type style, which is good actually. I think I do. I mean, I like listening to Mark Isham now and again. I mean, that sort of score actually does help in the movie nicely. It does. I mean, you got sort of nightclub scenes. You know, you have the tense, sort of romantic moments as well, and the sort of dark scenes that go on in the movie, and the interrogation scenes. You know, the flashbacks and all that sort of stuff. It works perfectly nicely. Yep. So anyway, Body Shots. This is a good film to watch. Probably, if you're into that sort of movie to do with coming of age and nightlife and just couples getting together and like a little bit of romance, however, you like it with a twist, maybe give this a watch. To be honest, it is good. I mean, to be honest, it's never really discussed, this movie. I mean, there's no reviews of this movie actually, to be honest, and there might be a few Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know what the percentage is of Rotten Tomatoes with this movie, or IMDb, who never knows. But overall, my opinions say it is a good movie. It is worth a watch. I mean, the casting is interesting. You have a few familiar faces you remember. It's a 90s movie, it is. It sort of provokes that sort of idea of, well, even though the trailer itself says like it's one of those movies like say The Graduate, it's in the sort of like vein of that sort of movie, very much like in each decade you get this sort of like coming of age movies that sort of deal with subject matters and stuff like that, you know, and it sort of falls in that category very much, and it's just how it goes really. So I would say give this a watch if you want to. Find it on Netflix, or get if you're like those people who gets physical like DVD copies or something. Maybe give it a watch. It's worth giving one more watch of what this movie's about. That's all I can say. And that's the review. So that's my review of Body Shots from 1999, and I will see you for the next review.